Deep in the heart of a vast and ancient forest lived a powerful lion named Leo. Leo was the undisputed king of the woods, and he walked among the trees with pride and dignity. All the animals respected him, or perhaps they feared his mighty roar. But Leo loved to talk, or rather he loved to roar. If he wanted something, he roared. If he was angry, he roared. If he was happy, he roared. Even if someone tried to talk to him, he would interrupt them with a loud roar and say, "I am the king, I decide. No need for me to hear anyone's opinion." The elephant wanted to tell him about a dried-up river, but Leo just roared at him. The giraffe wanted to warn him about a fire in the western part of the forest, but Leo didn't want to listen. He only knew how to roar. One day Leo went for a walk all alone. As he walked among the rocks, his paw slipped and he fell into a narrow and deep hole. He tried to get up, he tried to roar, but no one could hear him. So he roared as loud as he could, help me, I am Leo, I am the king." Some sparrows flew past, but Leo called out to them, but all they heard was the angry roar of a trapped lion. Then the clever monkey swung by and said, "Leo, do you need any help?" But Leo roared again very loudly, so the monkey jumped up in fright and hid among the trees. Finally the old tortoise came by and said, "Leo, are you all right? Speak calmly so I can understand you." But Leo shouted, "Get me out right now." The tortoise said sadly, "If only you had listened to us before, you would have known that this hole was dangerous, and the giraffe had warned you about it yesterday. But you didn't listen to her." Silence fell upon them. For the first time in his life, Leo was silent. He thought for a moment and said quietly, "I'm sorry. I never listened." The tortoise said with a smile, "And now you have started to speak well, because you have finally learned to listen." The tortoise called the other animals over, and they helped him out of the hole with ropes and sticks, and from that day on, Leo changed. He didn't roar unless it was necessary. He learned that roaring all the time made him lose respect and power. He used to be feared, but not respected. But now, when he spoke, everyone listened to him because they knew he had something important to say. They all loved him because he became a wise and humble king. The next day, Leo went to see the elephant and said, "I am sorry that I did not listen to you yesterday. Tell me about the river." The elephant was surprised by Leo's change and said, "You don't have to ask me. You know, your sharp ears must have heard what happened last night." Leo looked down and said, "I didn't hear anything because I was busy roaring." The elephant laughed and told Leo everything about what happened to the river overnight. After that, Leo went to the giraffe and apologized for not listening to her. The giraffe forgave him and told him about the fire in the west. Leo thanked her and said, "From now on, I will listen to you all and make decisions after hearing everyone's opinions." All the animals were very happy to see the change in Leo. They were also very proud of him, because he was not only their king, but also their leader. And a good leader is not only strong and brave, but also wise and just. A few days later, there was a terrible storm in the forest. The wind was so strong that it uprooted many trees and destroyed many homes. The animals were terrified and didn't know what to do, but Leo stayed calm and called for an emergency meeting. He told the animals to come to the clearing to discuss what to do next. All the animals gathered in the clearing. They were scared and wet from the rain. Leo stood in the center of the clearing and said, "We have to work together to help each other. The storm has destroyed our homes, and we have to build new ones. We also have to find food and water for those who have lost their homes." The animals agreed to help each other and started working right away. The elephants used their tusks to clear the debris and make room for new homes. The giraffes used their long necks to reach high places and gather dry leaves for the fire. The monkeys used their agility and intelligence to find food and water for the cubs and the sick animals. And Leo, he used his strength and courage to protect the animals from any danger. He patrolled the forest, making sure no wild animals took advantage of the situation to attack the weak animals. He also shared his food and water with the other animals, even though he was the king and had more rights than the other animals. After the storm, the forest looked like a disaster zone, but the animals didn't give up. They kept working together until they rebuilt their homes and recovered from the storm. When the sun finally came out again and the birds sang happily, the animals realized that they had become stronger and more united because of the storm. They had learned that by working together and helping each other, they could overcome any obstacle and any enemy. And they knew that Leo was the king who led them through the storm and showed them the true meaning of courage, strength, and kindness. Some time passed, and the forest flourished again. The trees grew tall and strong, the flowers bloomed in all colors, and the animals lived happily ever after. Leo grew old and wise and continued to lead his forest with wisdom and love. His roar was still strong and powerful, but now it was only used when it was really needed. And his wisdom and justice were known throughout the forest and beyond. Once upon a time, there was a big forest where all the animals lived together in peace. There was a wise and kind lion named Leo, who was the king of the forest. One day, a young and arrogant lion named Scar challenged Leo and said, "You are too old and weak to be the king. It's my turn now." Scar was bigger and stronger than Leo, so all the animals were afraid and agreed that Scar was the new king. Leo was sad and disappointed, but he knew he couldn't fight with Scar because he was too old and weak. So he left the forest and went to live in the mountains. One day, while Leo was walking in the mountains, he saw a little bird sitting on a rock. The bird was hurt and couldn't fly. Leo asked the bird what happened and why it was sitting there. The bird told Leo that it was flying in the forest when Scar and his hyenas caught it and broke its wing. The bird was scared and sad and didn't know what to do. Leo felt sorry for the bird and promised to help him. He went back to the forest and challenged Scar and his hyenas. Leo was outnumbered, but he didn't care. He was brave and strong and fought with all his might. The hyenas were scared of Leo and couldn't fight back, so they ran away and left Scar alone. Leo was exhausted, but he didn't give up. He fought with Scar until Scar was defeated and ran away. All the animals were amazed and cheered for Leo. They knew that Leo was the real king of the forest and deserved to be respected and loved. From that day on, Leo was the king of the forest again, and Scar was banished from the forest forever. All the animals respected and loved Leo, and his bravery and kindness were remembered by all.